So, dear students, so today our topic is anatomy and physiology of heart. So, as you know, heart is a pumping organ. So, heart it is helpful for to pump the blood throughout the body. So, that was helpful for to carry out the nutrition from one place to another place as well as along with the oxygen. And also, it was helpful for removal of the waste material from the various organ and supplied towards the kidney or excretory organs. Okay, so heart it is comes under the cardiovascular system, and the cardiovascular system is also known as a coordinating system. It means it is helpful for the communication system because our body can be communicate with the help of the endocrine systems or hormones or with the help of the nervous system. So each organs they can be communicated with the help of the nerves or neurochemicals or neurotransmitter as well as the different systems or different organs, so they are communicated with the help of the circulatory systems or with the help of the blood. So that blood can be pumped from one organ to the another organ. That is the work of the cardiovascular system or heart. So that's why the heart or the cardiovascular system is also involved in the coordinating systems or community that is communication system. So first you learn regarding the introduction to the heart. So heart is a muscular organ so that can pump the blood around the body by circulating it throughout the circulatory or vascular system. So it is a cone shaped organ. Okay, it is a made up of the various type of muscles. The special type of muscles are the cardiac muscle and also with the help of the epithelial muscles and the connective tissues, so heart can be made. That's why the heart is a cone shaped muscular organ. It is having the capability to own capability to create the certain energy or pressure so on the blood. So that pressure that was helpful for to pump the blood from one place to the another place. So regarding the location of heart, so heart it is present in the lies on the diaphragm. So diaphragm it is the dome like structure. It can separate the upper part of the body and the lower part of the body. So dome like structure is present just below the lungs. Okay, it can separate our upper part of the body and the abdominal cavity or lower part of the body. So that dome like structure is known as the diaphragm. Just above the diaphragm, so that is the location of the heart. Or the heart is lies on thoracic cavity. So it means the heart is present inside the thoracic cavity. The thoracic cavity is nothing but the chest. It is made up of the ribs. Okay, it is having on the hollow space. So they are made up of the 12 pairs of the ribs. So under the ribs, okay, so that is the location of the heart. And it is also the location is it is between the two lungs, that is the mediastinums. It means so when the heart is whenever a body is divided into two part, exactly center part is known as the mediastinum. So in the near the mediastinum, so between two lungs, so that is the exact location of the our heart. And still the exact location is between third and seventh ribs. Okay, our chest it is made up of the 12 pairs of ribs. You count the ribs from neck to the down. Okay, so when the third ribs is present or you're relocated, so that is the starting location of the heart. So that is up to that is seventh ribs. So between the seventh is third to seventh ribs and exact the center of the body, the center of the chest, that is the exact location of the heart. You can feel your heart. So when you touching the this part, that is between the third and seventh ribs of the your chest or your thoracic cavity. So regarding the size, okay, so heart is 12 centimeter long and 9 centimeter wide and thickness is about 6 centimeters. So it is the exact and average the size of the heart, that is it is having the 12 centimeter long, 9 centimeter wide and the 6 centimeter thick. So regarding the weight, once again the female having the lightweight heart as compared to the male. Okay, so female and average the weight of the heart is 250 to 300 gram, while in the male, so that the weight of the heart is 300 to 350 gram. It is the and average of the heart, it is present in the human beings or in the human body. That is female having an average 250 to 300 gram and the male will be having the 300 to 350 gram. It is a pumping organ, it can pump the blood throughout the body, so that was helpful for the movement of the blood along with nutrition and as well as the oxygen. Okay, so next one, so regarding the chamber, so heart, it is mainly made up of the four chambers. So two chambers, so they are present in the upper part, that is superior to the heart, and two chambers, so they are present below of the heart, that is known as the inferior chambers. So regarding the superior chambers, so they are known as the atrium as well as thin chambers. Okay, they made up of the thin wall. So those are present below or inferior. So those are known as the ventricle chambers or thick wall chambers. Okay, so due to thin nature of the atrium, the pressure is required for contraction of atrium is less, and due to thickness of the ventricles, the contractions of ventricle, it will require the pressure is the more or greater due to that is thick in nature. Okay, so once again, so the atrium, it is divided into two chambers or consists of two chambers. One is the right atrium, it is present in the right side of the body or right part of the body heart, and the left part of the heart, that is known as the left atrium. So right atrium, it is a chamber, it can collect the deoxygenated blood or impure blood throughout the body with the help of the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. So superior vena cava, so they can drain the blood from upper part of the body to the right atrium, and the inferior vena cava, it can collect the deoxygenated blood from lower part of the body and supply or drain to the right atrium. So right atrium, it is the present in the right part of the heart, so it consists of the deoxygenated blood. Okay, so that blood can be collected with the help of the two veins, those are known as the vena cava, that is superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava collect the blood from the upper part of the body, and inferior vena cava, it can collect the blood from the lower part of the body. And regarding the pressure in the right atrium, so the whatever the blood is present, so that blood will be having a pressure about only 7 to 8 mmHg. So when the pressure is exceed 7 to 8 mg, so then mmHg, then only so the right atrium can be contract. So that contraction of the right atrium is helpful for to pull the blood from right atrium to the right ventricles regarding the deoxygenated blood. And the right atrium, it is also known as a thin wall chamber, so that's why it requires the less pressure to contract. So that pressure is 7 to 8 mmHg. If pressure is exceed means then the malfunctions of right atrium is occurs. If it is less than that means then there is no pumping capacity of the heart is properly present. Okay, so exact the pressure of the right atrium is 7 to 8 mmHg. It is required for the proper pumping of the right atrium. So regarding the second chambers of the atrium, that was known as the left atrium. So this is the locations of the left atrium. So the left atrium, it mainly consists of the deoxygenated blood. So that deoxygenated blood is drained by the pulmonary vein, both right and as well as the left pulmonary vein. So these veins collect the oxygenated blood from lungs and drain and supply to the left atrium. So that's why, so the left atrium, it consists of the oxygenated blood or pure blood, so that can came from the both right as well as the left lung. So here the only veins are there, that is the pulmonary vein, so they carries the oxygenated blood, but remaining veins, so those are present in our body, so those always carries the deoxygenated blood or impure blood, but only here there is a pulmonary vein, so they can carry the oxygenated blood from lungs to the our heart towards the left atrium. So regarding the pressure in the left atrium, so that should be 5 to 6 mmHg. So when the pressure is reaches 5 to 6 mmHg due to depositions of the blood with the help of the right and left pulmonary veins, so then the left atrium start to contract under the influence of the SA node. So due to contractions of left atrium, so that pure blood is pumped to the respective ventricle or the left ventricles. So like that, so the superior chamber or thin wall chamber or atrium, so they are mainly divided into two chambers, that is right and left. Right consists of deoxygenated blood and the left consists of the oxygenated blood. And the inferior chamber, so those are known as the ventricles or thick wall chamber. So once again the ventricles are two in numbers. So one is the right ventricles and another is the left ventricle. So right ventricle, it is also consist of deoxygenated blood that can came from the right atrium by passing through a tricuspid. Okay, so that the blood can came from right atrium to the left ventricle through a tricuspid wall. So the right ventricle, it is consist of the deoxygenated blood, and the pressure in the right ventricle, maximum pressure is about only 25 mmHg. If it is exceed more than 25 mmHg, so then it can create the malfunctions of the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, the deoxygenated blood is enter in the pulmonary artery. From the pulmonary artery, it can enter in the respective lungs. So here only the arteries are there, so they can carry the deoxygenated blood. So remaining arteries in the body, so they always carries the oxygenated blood or pure blood except pulmonary artery. So then it is oxygenation process occurs from the lungs. The pulmonary vein, they carries the oxygenated blood and deposit to the left atriums. Okay, so next one is the left ventricle. So left ventricle is present in the left part of the heart or left part of the body. So it can collect the oxygenated blood from left atrium to the left ventricle through a mitral valve or also known as the bicuspid valve. So left ventricle is consist of the that is a pure blood or oxygenated blood. So regarding the pressure in the left ventricle, so that should be 120 mmHg. So this is the most important one thing. So this pressure is only helpful for the movement of the blood from one place to the another place. If it is less, then automatically the cardiac output or output from the heart, that was decreases. If it is more, then due to more pressure in the left ventricle, the left ventricles are damages or they are the malfunction. So that was known as the left ventricle hypertrophy. Because more pressure, it can create the problem to the more left ventricle or muscles. So those are present in the left ventricle. But the healthy, that is the normal pressure in the left ventricle, that should be 120 mmHg. And left ventricles is contracted under the influence of impulses from the AV node or Purkinje fibers, or when the pressure reaches to the 120 mmHg, so that blood can pump to the aorta with the help of the aortic valve. So the left ventricle, so per beat, it can pump about only the 70 ml of blood. But the capacity of the left ventricle, it should be 130 ml. Okay, when the left ventricle completely fill, so that the blood is present in the left ventricle is about 130 ml. But it can, when it is completely contracted or empty, it can pump only blood 70 ml. So that 70 ml is known as a stroke volume. And this 70 ml, it is a fixed ratio for throughout the world human beings. So whatever the human beings are in the worldwide, so that is the stroke volume or the pumping capacity of the left ventricle that was fixed. It is only pump the 70 ml. Okay, but the cardiac output, some people they having 3 liter per minute, some people having 5 liter per minute, some people having more cardiac output. So that cardiac output is varies on the basis of the heart rate. But the stroke volume or the pump of the blood from the left ventricle per pumping or per beat. So that should be only 70 ml. This is the fixed value and it was known as the stroke volume. So now we learn regarding the, so the different valve or gates. So those are present in the our heart. So our heart, it mainly consists of the four valve, and these valve, so they play important role in to restrict the, to control the entry of the blood from one part to the another part or from one chamber to the another chamber. So first, that is the chamber is known as the, or valve is known as the tricuspid valve or right atrioventricular valve. That is the locations of tricuspid valve is here. That is the, it is present between right atrium and right ventricles. So this valve or gate, it can control the entry of the blood from right atrium to the right ventricle. So when the right ventricle completely fill, automatically the tricuspid valve was closed. Then it further, it can avoid the entry of the blood from right atrium to the right ventricle, and it is also known as the right atrioventricular valve because it is present between the atrium and ventricle of the right hand side. So that's why it was known as the right atrioventricular valve. Its function is it can control the entry of the blood from right atrium to the right ventricle. And the second valve, that was known as the semilunar valve or pulmonary valve. So this valve is present in the pulmonary artery in the right ventricles. Okay, so right ventricle, it will be having the one inlet through tricuspid valve and one outlet through a pulmonary valve or semilunar valve. So this pulmonary valve is present between pulmonary artery and right ventricles. So when the right ventricle completely fill and it can pump the blood towards the lungs for oxygenation process through a gate or valve. So that valve was known as the pulmonary valve. So that's why the pulmonary valve play important role in the entry of the blood from right ventricle to the pulmonary artery or towards the lungs. So that is the exact locations of pulmonary valve is, it is present between the pulmonary artery and the right ventricle. And the third valve, that was known as the bicuspid valve or left atrioventricular valve or mitral valve. So this valve is present between the right, that is sorry, left atrium and the left ventricles. So this is the locations of the bicuspid valve or mitral valve. So this was play important role in the entry of the blood from left atrium to the left ventricles regarding the oxygenated blood. And the fourth one, that was known as the aortic valve. So this valve is present in the left ventricles. It is the outlet for the left ventricle. It is present between the left ventricle and the aorta. And this aortic valve, it can control the entry of pure blood from left ventricle to the aorta. Okay, so when the 70 ml reaches to the aorta, then automatically, so this aortic valve was closed, and further it can restrict the entry of the oxygenated blood from, that is the left ventricle, to the aorta. So like that, our heart it mainly having the four wall. Okay, two present in the right side and two present in the left side. So right sides are known as the tricuspid wall or pulmonary wall, and the right, that is the left side's wall, they are known as the bicuspid wall or aortic wall. So these are play important role in the to control the or to restrict the flow of the blood between the chambers or between the chamber and artery or veins. So like that, our heart is mainly consist of the four wall. So next one is the, so regarding the layers of the heart or heart wall. So our heart it is mainly made up of the three layer. Okay, so uppermost layer that was known as the epicardium. Okay, so this epicardium is made up of the connective tissues, as well as it is having the epicardium is made up of the two layer. One is the parietal layer and another is the visceral layer. And the epicardium is the outermost layer of the heart. Okay, there is the mid layer that was known as the myocardium. Okay, so it is exactly center of the, that is the wall of the heart. So this myocardium it is mainly made up of the special type of the muscle, and those are known as the cardiac muscle. So these cardiac muscles play important role in the to control the functions of the heart, or the contraction and the relaxations of the heart is mainly depending upon the conditions of the cardiac muscles. And cardiac muscle, so these are the middle layer of the heart wall. It is made up of the special type of cells. So those are known as the cardiac cell, and these cardiac cells they having the capability to transmit the impulses or action potential from one cell to the another cell, like throughout the myocardium or throughout the heart. So that action potential or current can be transmitted. So that was helpful for the pumping or contraction or to decrease the size of the heart. So that decrease size of the heart, it create the pressure on blood. So that pressure was helpful for to pump the blood from one part to the another parts. Or our pumping capacity of our heart is mainly depending upon the cardiac muscles. If any problem in the cardiac muscle, then our the pumping capacity was decreases, maybe increases, maybe decreases. Or if the cardiac muscles are fail, means our heart is fail, the heart is dying. Okay, so next one, that is innermost layer that was known as the endocardium. It is facing towards the blood. Okay, it is the innermost layer or it is the lining of the heart. So that was known as the endocardium, and endocardium is made up of the simple squamous epithelium. Okay, it is made up of the epithelial tissues or simple squamous epithelials. So it is present in the innermost or lining of the heart. So that endocardium it can use the protection to the heart regarding the chemical as well as the physical or mechanical. But all muscles, that is a layer, so these are the protections. Okay, but especially endocardium, it is internally it can use the product, that is chemical production to the myocardium or heart. And as well as endocardiums play important role in the absorptions of the nutrition, so that was required for the myocardiums are required for the cardiac muscle. So like that, so our heart is made up of, or it is the compositions of three layers, the epicardium, outermost layer, then mid layer that is known as the myocardium, and endocardium. So along with this three layer, our heart is enclosed by another layer. Okay, so that was known as the pericardium. Okay, so heart is enclosed by a roof by a another layer, so that was known as the pericardium. And pericardium it's play important role in to protect our heart from the physical injury, chemical injury, as well as thermal injury. Because so that pericardium it is made up of the layer of the pericardium regarding the visceral pericardium and parietal pericardium. Between visceral pericardium, parietal pericardium, it can forms one cavity. So that cavity was filled with the certain type of fluid So that was known as the pericardium fluid. So that pericardium fluid, it can absorb the excess of the heat that was generated from the heart during the contractions or overwork of the heart. So that's why the pericardium is also gives the thermal protection due to presence of the special fluid like a pericardial fluids. So that's why the pericardium, it can use the protection to the heart regarding the physical, chemical, mechanical as well as the thermal. And as well as the pericardium, it can avoid the overstretching of the heart. Okay, due to any abnormalities, the heart can be expanded more than normal size. So that was also prevented by the pericardium. So that's why the pericardium, it is one of the protective layer that was surrounded by a heart. Okay, it is mainly covering layer of. So this pericardium, it is made up of mainly two layer that was known as the serous pericardium and the fibrous pericardium. The fibrous pericardium, it is the outermost layer, and serous, it is present between the epicardium and fibrous pericardium. So these serous pericardiums, once again, it is made up of the two layer, that is the visceral pericardium and as well as the parietal pericardium. So between the visceral pericardium and that is the parietal pericardium, it can forms the one cavity. So that cavity was known as the pericardial cavity. So that cavity was filled with the fluid. So that fluid is known as the pericardial fluid. So that fluid is play important role to control the functions of the heart. If any inflammation in the pericardial fluid, so that also it can create the problem on the heart. So due to any inflammation in the pericardial fluid, the person was suffering from the arrhythmia. Arrhythmia nothing but the heartbeat is more than 250 per minute. So that was condition was known as arrhythmia. That is also occurs due to any inflammations in the pericardial fluids. Easily the entry of the bacteria, especially Staphylococcus, that is a categories bacteria. So they can cause the inflammations in the pericardial. So that was known as the pericarditis. So that can create the problem normal functioning of the heart. Okay, so like that, the heart is made up of the four layer. One is epicardium, myocardium, endocardium. These are the basement formation required for the formations of heart. And another one is the outermost layer that was known as the pericardium. So next one is the nutritions regarding to heart. Okay, so the heart, it's mainly required the few nutritions. If you isolate the heart from the one person and keep in the nutrition in the well conditions, then that heart can be survive more than 4 hours. So due to this phenomena only, the heart can be nowadays, they can be transported from Latur to Pune and Mumbai, because the heart having special cells. Okay, those are known as the pacemaker cell. So those pacemaker cell, they generate their own action potential. Due to that action potential, the pumping capacity of the heart is present. Even it can isolate outside the body, but other organ, so their working condition is mainly depending upon the action potential. So that was came from the brain. Okay, but the heart, it is having its own action potential with the help of the pacemaker cell or SN node. So it is having the good nutrition mean. So along with that pacemaker, so then the heart can survive for more than 4 hours in outside the body. So due to this only reason, the heart can be transported from one place to the another place. So the main nutrition, so that was required for heart is a sodium, then calcium, potassium, glucose, and oxygen. You continuously, you can supply the sodium, calcium, potassium, glucose, oxygen in the form of the normal saline, then the heart can be survive more than 4 hours outside the body. And inside the body also, if your blood having the rich of sodium, calcium, potassium, glucose, oxygen, then without food also our heart can be pumped or it can be survive. So the sodium, it is mainly required for the to create the depolarization. Depolarization means to create the positive environment or positive conditions in the that particular places. So due to accumulations of sodium, so that can create the positive charge, that was known as depolarization. So that positive charge only it is helpful for the contractions of the cardiac muscle, and contractions of myocardium or cardiac muscle is helpful for to pump the blood from one place to the another place. Or the pumping capacity of our heart is mainly depending upon the sodium, because sodium is a depolarizing agent. If it is excess, then automatically the heart rate is increases, the blood pressure is increased. So that was known as the hypertension. If it is decreases in your blood, that was decrease the pumping capacity of heart. So and as well as the pressure. So that condition was known as the low BP or hypotension. So next molecule that was required for the heart or nutrition to the heart, that was known as the calcium. And calcium it is known as the contractile element, or it is helpful for the contractions of the cardiac muscle or to decrease the size of cardiac muscle. So that was helpful for to create a pressure. And calcium is also required for to conduct the impulses or action potential or current from one cardiac cell to the another cell, or from atrium to the ventricle. So that current can be expanded or transported with the help of the only calcium. One side it is required for contraction and another side it is required for the conductions of action potential or current from one cell to the another cell or one part to the another part. Okay, so that's why the calcium is the main element that was required for to pump or to create the pressure. And calcium release or entry in the cardiac cell, that was depending upon the depolarization. Only depolarization it can allows the accumulations of calcium in the cardiac cells. So like that, sodium calcium they was accelerate the functions of the heart. If the calcium deficiency occur means the heart was failed, that was known as the angina pectoris, that is the chest pain. So that chest pain is occurred due to lack of calcium or abnormal concentration of calcium, where the doctor they give the drug. So that drug can enhance the accumulations of calcium in the myocardium or cardiac muscle, so that can create the pressure. Next one is the after working there is need to relax or relaxation. So that is the work of the potassium. Potassium is known as the relaxations element or molecule. It is mainly required for the relaxation by creating the negative environment. So after functions of the heart, the muscles they are relaxation. That is the role of the potassium. Next one is the glucose. It is the source of energy. The glucose can metabolize in the myocardium. It can produce the ATP. ATP is helpful for to working functions of the heart. Next one is the oxygen. So oxygen is required for the respirations or to regulate the metabolic functions. Okay, so in the next